Hello, everyone. How are you today? We're back into our regular Wednesday show. Yay! So excited to be here again with you guys. I was just saying, of course, I woke up and my throat is a little bit not quite right. So I do have a cough drop just to try to keep me from coughing the whole time. I've got my water, but we've got so much to talk about today. I was like, we have to still do the live. So thank you for joining us here on the WeCrochet Facebook page and the WeCrochet YouTube channel. My name is Katelyn, if you don't know, and I am the editor and marketing manager here at WeCrochet. And I get to come here to you regularly and chat all things yarn and what's going on. Hold on, I got to grab something here on the floor. Got to get all my stuff ready. It's so great to see everybody here. Let's see, we have Julia and Crystal and Maria and Elaine and Heather and Cindy. It is so great to see you guys here. Thank you for joining me twice this week. Not just once, but twice. You're back here on a Wednesday. We were here on Monday. We were supposed to have a special guest today, but things didn't quite work out. So we're doing them a little bit later. It's about a book launch and things got a little tied up. So the book didn't launch quite yet. So we're going to bring her back when the book launches. But so today we're moving this one a little bit forward and we're getting ready for quick gift making, specifically around the holidays, specifically kind of for Christmas. Some of them are winter items that you could go ahead and change how you want it. We've got a lot of quick gifts that we want to share with you guys today so that you can finish up your making in time for gift giving and be ready to go. And we always know that there's a couple extra people that kind of pop up on the list that you forgot about, or at least I do. Every year it gets me somebody I forgot on the list. And these are some really great ways to make something quick that's homemade, handmade, but maybe not like a full garment, maybe not, a full scarf or things like that, which are also wonderful gift ideas. But these are more like quick. They're going to get done in a night. You can get a couple done in a night using leftovers that you already have or your swatches that you have left over from other projects and reusing them, all kinds of ideas. I know some of these I have shared in the past. So if you've been around, since a year, 2 years or whatever, you might have seen some, but we do have a lot of new ones too. So I think you're going to have a lot of great ideas. Share with us what you think are really great ideas for quick gift making, what you think about these ideas that we're sharing with you. If you have questions about what we're talking about, or anything else going on with our yarn, please just let us know in the chat. I'll be here to answer questions. Janice is also here in the background to be posting links for us, and she can help answer questions too, or at least let me know that they're going on if there's a question. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know how that went away, but we're back up. Like and subscribe our channels, our Facebook page. It really does help us get out to more people. We have been starting to add a lot more tutorials over on our YouTube page. We're trying to get about one a week added up there. So we now have 3, almost 4 of our Granny Square tutorials up there from our Granny Glow Up collection. So you can check that out. You can walk through making the squares with us. And we're going to be adding more stitches and things like that as we continue to go. So hopefully you'll go check those out and tell us what you think of them, if they're helpful or what else you might be looking for in terms of videos. Okay. Excuse me. To get us started, I want to start with a couple projects that we have that are free patterns on our website, or one of them's in a collection type of thing, but they're patterns on our website that you can go ahead and do straight up crochet, no crafting, no anything like that. That makes some really great gifts. And the first one is our frosty fringe basket. So yes, it's got fringe. Yes, you kind of have to do it. Right now, I have one of the Yankee candles inside of here. And then you could, have a lid on it. I actually use this candle, so that's why there's no lid. But you can put a Yankee candle in here. You could also put in just any kind of tin or jar that would fit in here. Fill it up with some candy, put the lid back on, and give this as a nice little gift. You could also use it without a candle inside, is just straight up a basket. It is made in our dishy yarn, and so it does hold its structure. Like you can see, it's not like collapsing on itself or anything. I can hold it like this and it stands up. But the way the pattern is written, it is perfect size for a candle or things like that. I always suggest, if you're making a basket or any kind of thing like this, and you want to be able to put something inside, make the basket first, take it with you to buy something. Unless you already have what you want to do, and then you can, try it as you go, because here you're starting at the bottom, so you'll know that your round is big enough for it. But take it with you to the store and try different containers inside of it to make sure it's going to fit. The Frosty Fringe basket is also available in a kit where you can get multiple colors. You could make, I think it's like 3 or 4 of the baskets with the different colors that are in the kit. So you could check that out too, get a little bit of a savings there, or just shop during the big yarn sale that's going on right now. I'm sure you'll be able to find some colors that you love there, and you'll be able to share. Yeah, thanks, Maria. This is a really cute idea. I love it. It's really great too. You can do it like we did greens on this one. We also have a sample that's like red and green for the holidays, but you can really kind of pick any 2 colors that you want. You could make it all one color, or excuse me, 3 colors. You can make it all one color. You're just not going to see the fringe as much. You could do it in 2 colors where you have the main color and 1 color for the fringe. You can kind of play around with it how you like it, but we really love this one, and it's a quick gift to just add a little bit of a crochet touch to it with something else that you're purchasing. Another one, oh, and like, yes. Yes. So Kelly just said, like, starting a hat at the crown, the circle is smaller than you think for the base of the basket. That's right. So you're not going to make it quite as large as the base of whatever you want to stick inside. It's going to be a tad smaller so that as you go up the sides, it fits snugly. You don't want it to be too loose and flopping around. This is another basket that we have, or a little cover. You can put a smaller candle in this or another little jar. This one is done in our Curio yarn. So a great way to finish up Curio. This one does not stand up as well by itself. I mean, it does, but it flops over very easily. So I definitely suggest, if you're doing this one, that you do get a container or a candle to go inside of this. I can't remember what this name is. I know I sent the link. This is called the Love Struck Jar Cozy. And so this one is a pattern on our website. I think this one is also free, as well as this one. So you can go ahead and make these little candy baskets or candle baskets for some gifts. Okay, another thing that you can do with your leftover yarns and what you have going on for quick gifts are ornaments. So for instance, this is an ornament here that we have as a pattern on our site. This one is called the Hoopla ornament. This one uses a embroidery hoop. I was like, what the heck is that called? An embroidery hoop and a piece of fabric. And then you're making the snowflake star. It's more of a star than a snowflake, but you're making that and then sewing it on. And then you're also making this little pom-pom piece to go around the outside. These are actually all crocheted and then filled with a little bit of fiber fill to keep their size. This is also done in Curio. And you'll see on the website, there's a couple different color combinations that we put together for this that are really great and make great Christmas ornaments. The one thing I do want to say is, as you make things like this, think about this outside color. We suggest using like something that's not green so that it pops out against your Christmas tree if you are giving it as an ornament. It's fine that the green's inside here, but with the white, it really makes it pop. Yeah, it does look like a decorated cookie. You're right. It's just a really great option. And this is a free pattern on our website. We just put the link in there so that you can do it. Also using an embroidery hoop, I went a little bit different. And I have my embroidery hoop like this. And what I did is I took over some leftover animation, which is our DK weight specific for amigurumi yarn, but you can use it for anything. And what I did is I just did a circle here, and I went until it fit just inside my embroidery hoop. And so what I did is, you just do a standard circle increase where you do 2 stitches in every stitch, then you do 1 stitch, then you do 2 in the next, 1 stitch, 2 in the next. Then the next round, you do 2 single crochets and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and you're just working your way out. Then I took the long tail and a darning needle and just whip stitched it around to put it in place. And then I used some letter beads to spell out Merry Christmas, and I tied those on. And then I just used a little ornament to tie it on here. I mean, you can get a lot of things at Target, at Dollar Tree, at whatever else you might shop at that are nice and small that you could fit right here into your ornament. You could also use that pom-pom border here that we did here. You could put that right onto this ornament. I guess it'd be this way. You could put that onto this ornament as well, and look at how cute that would look. So you could pull bits and pieces from different patterns, but this is a great way to use up your ends because it was just a little bit of two different colors that I just kind of made my circle with. And I love this. I think it turned out super cute. And then just putting in some extra beads to say Merry Christmas, maybe Happy Holidays. You could put somebody's name in there or things like that. I know there's a lot of designers right now also coming out with some patterns. Janice, we didn't talk about this, so if we don't get links, it's okay. But you can check out Jan Crochet, which is Hannah Cross. She has a baubles course that uses, she used Lion Brand color theory to be able to do it. And you learn mosaic, you learn tapestry, and then you put it around a clear plastic ball or glass ball if you want to. And you can make beautiful ornaments. And Brianna Kay just put one out as well. That is her autumn, I think it's called the autumn pullover stitch or whatever. And she did that. And you also cover a ball. So there's really great ideas out there that you can go and find too if you want to make ornaments. We have one ornament that covers the ball. I forgot to pull that link, but you know, there's so many different options. Let's see. Margaret says, what are you wearing? Okay. I pulled up the link because I keep forgetting what the name of this is. This is called the Casual Crochet Pullover. It is by Jess of Make and Do Crew. But I did it in Brava Speckle. I love, love, love how this turned out. I was trying to find something that would showcase Brava Speckle, would allow me to kind of test out Brava Speckle in a bigger piece rather than just swatches. I absolutely love it. It's got like the reverse single crochet seaming here to really make it a noticeable, visible seam. There's a seam down the middle. There's nothing down the back though. So basically you're working all the way around like you would a cardigan, and then you're seaming up the front. It's got a nice little V-neck here. And then, yeah, I think it looks great with the Brava Speckle. Look at how great that turns out. And it's so nice and warm without being too heavy. So totally try it out. It is a free pattern over on her website blog that you can grab, and grab the yarn while it's on sale. Right now we have our big yarn sale going on, so you can get up to 60% off different colors and yarns that we have available. Okay, so we talked about ornaments. We talked about some things like that. I also want to show you one of these great ideas that I love and I go back to all the time is framing a swatch, especially when you're doing color work or things like that. This is a mosaic. It's really great to go ahead and put in a frame. And then what you could do is you could also, if like you have a Cricut machine or get some kind of vinyl or something, you could put some words on here. You could pick the color for either a holiday or just, you know, like you're beautiful or something like that. You could go with whatever and just use up your swatches that way by putting them into a frame. And then you could put a little saying on the front of it. So that's a really great way to use up your swatches that you might still have. If there's some color work or some kind of design, you could do it with a plain swatch too, totally fine. And then just use it as your backdrop for whatever quote you want to put on it or things like that. Okay. Margaret said, it looks so cozy. Can I ask a silly question? What is the difference between a sweater and a pullover? Okay, so let's just say too, that's not a silly question. Margaret is not from the US, so terms might be different. So a sweater and a pullover are basically the same thing. So sweater, a lot of times people just say any kind of garment like this is a sweater that you would wear on the top half of your body, more like a jumper maybe. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know the exact. But sweater can sometimes be a cardigan or it can be a pullover. It's more of a generic word. Then a pullover is one that you pull over your head. So this would be a pullover. And then a cardigan would be one that is open in the middle down the seam that you would either button or zipper or snap or something like that. So sweater's a little bit harder. Typically, it means a pullover because when it's a cardigan, people definitely call things a cardigan. But sweater is more of the generic term for both. And then a cardigan is the buttons, the snaps, the zipper, whatever. And the pullover is just what you pull over your head. So pullover could have a V-neck, it could have a crew neck, it could have a hood on it, but also so could a cardigan. So that's not the determining factor. It's really, are you pulling it over your head or does it have buttons and snaps that you could snap it? Hopefully that helps, Margaret. Dawn says, love Brava Speckle. I love it too. Doesn't it look great? I think it looks great. Like, I wasn't sure how it was going to play out with like a big area. You know, it's an oversized pullover and everything, but I think it looks great and it's nice and warm. And I love Brava. Love, love, love Brava. Okay. We talked about our swatches. I want to talk about Curio for a minute. Curio can be a little bit scary maybe because it's so thin. And I get that, but it also makes a really great yarn for making projects for crafting or for holidays. One example of that is I found this cute little snowflake pattern and I turned it into a card. So I put a little hole here and just tied it through. And now I can send this as a card. You want to be careful. You don't want to go with a thicker yarn than Curio because then you'll have to pay extra for your shipping. But with Curio, I could send these through the mail, no problem. And it gives a little bit of extra. When I did it, oh no, not this one. This was my like first one that I did. But when I made all the other ones, I made the string on the end of the snowflake longer and I kind of taped it in the back so that people could take it off and use it as a little bit of an ornament. This I did not stiffen, but you could stiffen it if you want to use it as an ornament after the Christmas card. And then I just put a little note like, take this off and hang it on your tree. And so again, a nice little way to add a crochet touch to something else that is not like a big project or something like that. Yes, Cheryl, Cheryl, I'm not sure if you mean Brava Speckle or we're talking about Curio yet. Either one, the colors are great for both. We love them, love them. Leah says, made a wedding dress from Curio. Oh my gosh. Stiff at first, but got softer as I used it. Yes, it totally softens up. The more you use it, the more you kind of like wash it or take care of it, it's definitely going to soften up a little bit, but it's going to hold its shape really nicely. And that is one way that you could use Curio. Another way to use Curio is if you're into jewelry making. I am. You can make these cute little earrings. And so all this is this is one of the plastic rings that you get in the sewing section. And I just crocheted around the ring until it was completely covered. Make sure you count how many times you did it so that you can repeat it on the second earring. And then from there, what I did is I made myself a tassel and I just used a card to make the tassel. I fed it through the loop here and then tied it off. And the really cool thing, these are called kidney wire earrings or ear wires. And the cool thing about these is you don't need any tools to go ahead and do them. So when you get these, you're just going to feed it through one of the stitches. Let me see, did I get it through a stitch? Hold on. You just feed it through one of the stitches here, and you're just going to keep pulling and pulling and pulling until it hits right there in that little hook spot. And so you don't need any jewelry making pliers or anything else like that. All you need to get is the plastic ring in whatever size you want. You'll crochet around it with your Curio, add a little tassel to it, and grab one of the kidney wire ear wires because it's going to make it so easy. You just slip it on. You don't have to have pliers. You don't have to have any other kind of tools to do that. You can just make it. Okay, so those are those. Also with Curio, think about string art. This is a really great way to use up the rest of your Curio. To do this, you'll get a template of a photo, whichever you want to use. You put your picture down on your piece of wood, stain your wood first if you want it stained, and then you're going to put your nails in on the outside of the picture. You rip your paper off and then you just go to town winding and winding and winding. I think I need to put a couple more layers on here to make it a little bit more dense is what I'd really like it to be. And oh no, sorry. That's not what I wanted to click on. And so you could go ahead and make it more dense and everything else in here. It'll make a really great picture. You could do joy. You could do snow. You could do a snowflake, a Christmas tree. I've also done a countdown. It was a kit from somewhere else, like all put together, but I used the string art to make a Christmas tree and then put a little countdown timer next to it. So that was really cool as well. So that's another idea with Curio. Don't be afraid though to use larger yarn than Curio if you want to, because you just want to change out your nail size so that it can accommodate a thicker yarn. Oh, a Curio tweed Marget? All right, I think I have to think about that one a little bit more as we go into 2024. Ooh, I kind of like a Curio tweed. Let me see if we could do that. I don't know how that would work, but yeah. Yes, that is a good idea, Leah. There is dream catchers would be a great gift too, using an embroidery hoop and like a mandala or something in the middle with long tassels. That would be awesome as well. Speaking of things that you could hang, I've also done this. This is a wreath, and this one uses Tough Puff and a wreath form that was from the Dollar Tree. So super simple. So it's a nice small wreath. And I just kind of wove in the yarn in here. Hold on. You just weave through the Tough Puff yarn like back and forth. Then I got some little ornaments, hung them on a piece of wire right in here, added a little bow, and then now I can hang this on my wall or give it as a gift or something. I really love this one. You could put whatever ornament you want here in the middle. It could be one ornament. It could be multiple ornaments. And the Tough Puff, you're going to get multiple wreaths out of one skein of Tough Puff, which is going to allow you to make a bunch of gifts. And then you can just kind of hang your little ornament right from the middle. So that's another quick gift idea that I really like too. I will say, careful with Tough Puff. It sheds a little bit. So I recommend doing it in an area where you don't mind getting a little bit of yarn fiber out there and everything else. But it looks really great. I used like a limey green type of thing, but you could use any color green that's out there or change it up and pick a different color. That's always great too. Julia said, cup cozies, face scrubbies, washcloths, placemats are my usual go-to quick gifts. All amazing. Last year for our 12 weeks of gifting, we did a spa collection or theme. And so, we did a spa theme. So it had a bunch of like the face scrubbies. It had some hair band things. So that would be a really great thing too. How did you weave it? I'm trying to see. I don't have one, but so this wreath has 3. It has this piece here, and then it has the 2 outside. So I kind of went over, under, and then pulled it out, and then went under, over. Like you just go under and over, back and forth, and it gives this really cool like look to it as you go over, under, depending on which direction it is, and then you just kind of slide it all together until it's completely full all the way around. And then I just tied a little knot in the back and put a little glue in. And I recommend, because you have to do this, you are going to have to cut a really long length and then kind of work with it. You cannot work with this off the ball or the skein because it's not going to fit through these little holes. So you really have to pull just a strand of it as you're weaving it. And that's why I have 2 knots, because I miscalculated, had to add another piece, but that's okay. They're on the back side. You won't see it. Yeah, and that's how that one worked. All right, let's talk about, I forgot. I forgot about this one. We talked about animation yarn here. Animation yarn also makes really great Christmas trees. Oh, Janice, I forgot to give you this link. This is a pattern from Michelle of MJ's Off the Hook. I think it's called her, I can't remember. It's like her farmhouse tree or something like that. But it's the exact same pattern I use. She just used it in super bulky yarn. And so I am using animation, which makes it much smaller. I put it on a skewer that you would use for like kebabs. I cut off the end so it didn't have the point, and I just used some super glue, which you can see I didn't do a good job there. I'll have to fix that or clean that up. I put some super glue in, then slid the next one down, then slid the next one down, and I put some super glue in here to hold it in place. And I've got this just little wood round that I drilled a hole in, and you just stick it in and it stands up on your little table. I have about 5 or 6 of these, and then I kind of make them into like a little forest on one of my areas. But that's a really great way to use up your animation yarn as well. The animation yarns, I can get 2 Christmas trees out of one pack of animation. And when I do mine, I use the 3.0 millimeter hook, dots hook, to be able to make my tree. So we'll find that link and we can put that in there. I just totally forgot about it when we were talking. Okay, on to Brava. So Brava is a really great yarn to make things. I think I showed you guys. Thank you, Julia. The Rustic Farmhouse Tiered Trees by Michelle Moore. That is the pattern you want to follow. Just using a different yarn and a different hook, but follow the directions to the T, okay? This is, I think I showed you guys last year. This was my Christmas gift to teachers a little bit ago, and my mom and everything else. I painted this. So this is a canvas that you can get like from the Dollar Tree. So it can be a very affordable thing. I took the canvas off of it. I stained the wood frame and then I stapled it onto the back. Before I removed the canvas, I did paint it with the buffalo check plaid, whatever you want to call it, paint pattern. And then I purchased a star and the words Merry and Bright, and I glued those on. And this is just tassels. So I made 1, 2, 3. There's 3 tassels, 2 tassels, 1 tassel. I just glued those on with hot glue, and then I hot glued on the words and the star, and my kids found the little stick here to make for the tree stump. And so isn't that super cute? And then you can just put that out for display as well. A great way to use up some yarn. I mean, you get 1 ball and you can make how many of these? So I really like that, and I thought that was a really great idea. Another thing you can do for yourself, excuse me, or for others, is some garland. I used white Brava, and I just connected a bunch of snowflakes together, and this is a garland that I use. So I have 2 Christmas trees, one for just everyday Christmas tree stuff, and then I have 1 tree that is all handmade things. So one of the things we do in our family is every year my kids make an ornament for people in the family, and so then we get one to hang on our tree. And so I have a tree just of homemade ornaments, either that I've made, the kids have made, and so I put on this little garland of just making some snowflakes and attaching them. So that's really great too. This could be, just 1 snowflake, and you could attach it to a package as well, or put it together as a whole garland, hang it under a mantle, a fireplace, something like that. Okay, guys, I think we're down to my last piece on here. This is brand new. I know I haven't shown you this because we just made this. I was doing the sunburst granny square tutorial that we were putting out on YouTube, and I had leftover swatches as I was doing it, and I said, these could be a Christmas tree. So what I did is I followed the pattern for the starburst square from our granny glow up idea. This one is all 5 rounds. This is 4 rounds, and this is 3 rounds. So I made them progressively 1 round smaller. I did it with 2 different colors. You could do it all 1 color, make each triangle a different color. I folded the square in half the long way. I seamed them up, and then I just again stuck a skewer right through, put a little bit of hot glue in the back here to hold it in place so it doesn't slide down. I have a little piece of wood that was like from a tree, and I just poked a hole in, or not poked, but you have to drill a hole into it. And then you just stick your skewer in. And again, you can have a nice little forest of Christmas trees. The thing too, like when I make these trees, I don't make them all green. I have purple, I have gold, I have all different colors that I'm able to get in animation. I've also made them in Galileo. They get a little bit bigger. Or no, they're about the same size. I'm wrong. They're about the same size as the animation ones, but I can get different colors in it. If you grabbed one of the, I'm looking up at my yarn. If you grabbed one of the animation packs yesterday during our really big discount, or you can grab them today, they make really great ones. Make all the colors and have a really great forest that you can make. You could also put these into like a little bucket or something. Also, you can get those at Dollar Tree. They're like in the party, the like wedding baby shower section. You can get a little pot. You could put it in there instead of using a wood piece if you don't like that look. But there's so many different options. You could tie another little bow on here or things like that. Yeah. So it looks like everybody's loving that garland. It's really cool. So I can't remember where I found the pattern, but you could use anything. You could even use this pattern to be able to do it, but because you'll be making it in worsted weight yarn, it'll be much bigger. Let's see. You need to, oh, sell the tree bottoms. That's a good idea. I can look into that and see if we'd be able to do that. I don't know. We'd have to look into that one. Um, but yeah, so those are my quick ideas for you guys to whip together with some of the yarn that you've been purchasing during the summer yarn sale, getting you ready for the holiday. Again, just adding a little bit of yarn into gifts without maybe going all out with like a sweater or something like that for teachers, bus drivers, neighbors, mailman, something like that, but be able to give a little something of yarn during the holiday season. So be sure to keep sharing with us what you love making, and what you are making for gifts this year. We love to see it. You can throw it in the comment. Make sure to tag us on social media. And I think that's everything for today. So thank you guys so much for joining us live. Thank you, Leah. She said, "You're so fun and creative. Love these videos." I am so excited to share these things with you. Honestly, every year I try to think of something new that we can do for teacher gifts so that it's not always the same thing. I think this is going to be my teacher gift this year. I'm going to have to make a couple more of these to be able to give out to the teachers that my kiddos have. And then I always make one for my mom and one for me. And it goes on and on, but it's a lot of fun. And I like to use up my yarn scraps that I might have been collecting over the year. So these are some really great ideas for you to go ahead and try out. Let me know what your favorite one is or which one you think you're going to try. We'll be able to see the comments here and we can answer them too if you're watching the replay as well. So don't be afraid to chime in. We will be back. Will we be back? We will not be back next Wednesday because it is Thanksgiving week. We're taking a break for the 22nd. We will not have a live, but we will be back in 2 weeks with a special guest that was supposed to be here today, but we had to push back because of the book launch. So enjoy your Thanksgiving next week if you're here in the United States. If you're not in the United States, just have a great Wednesday, and we will see you in 2 weeks to chat again. Hopefully you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. Bye, everyone.